coming to America, it was really an experience. I've gone through tough times. I found myself homeless. So staff from Orion came to visit the camp where I was at. And that is how I came to learn about Orion.
One of the outreach efforts that I made was to go into Seattle, and there are a number of tiny house communities all throughout Seattle. And homeless being a barrier that we identify to someone being able to have and hold on to a job, going to the places where those people might be living was important to me. And then weeks went by and I got a phone call from Benson, and he said that he was living in one of the tiny house communities, and he had held on to the flyer that I presented when I was there. It was my job at the time to do an assessment of someone's barriers, right? What are they facing that might make it difficult for them to have and keep a steady job? So Benson, met all the requirements and joined us in our manufacturing training program.
I couldn't wait because when I came in, it really impressed me.
We got him started, and that's when I met Benson. And what we do is we try to look at, someone's story. Everybody has a different story and has these different challenges and strengths. And Benson was facing, some things that were making it tough for him. His transportation and taking the bus quite a distance. We were able to help make sure that was successful for him to come here. His tiny house community, while he was blessed to have a place to be, he and his wife, there were challenges there.
Where we were, we had some kind of restrictions. So it was really, really, really tough. Really tough. And again, even waking up and coming to work here, because I used to wake up at 3 a.m. So when I wake up, somebody to open the gate for me, it created a lot of problems. Imagine having somebody open the gate for you was an issue. So I almost actually quit.
Coming from the tiny house community, there's that barrier, right? It's not stable living. The goal is not to stay there forever. And I understood that to be his goal as well. And a few months went by, and I was in my office down in T&E, and I remember very specifically he came by. He said he wanted to thank me because he and his wife had saved up enough money. She'd been working, I believe, in childcare. They had saved up enough money to get a roommate and have an apartment in Federal Way, which is of course way closer than where he'd been coming from in Seattle, still making the commute better and all of that. So remarkable to me, this process worked the way we intended it.
I would say that was the greatest gift from God.
I'd love for Orion to be able to take credit for how awesome Benson is, but he just is awesome. But, we do our best to help people understand not only their barriers, but, some of maybe their weaknesses. And Benson came in with something that's really hard to teach, which is innate positive attitude. He is just a very kind and gracious man. So we just got to try him out doing all kinds of different things. I think that helped him grow his confidence to know that he can do a variety of things and not, have to only do what he's done before. And that's powerful. We know how amazing these people are and what they can do, and it's not always apparent on the surface. And I think Benson is a good example. And anybody listening to this, watching this right now, this is an opportunity for somebody who would just be a wonderful addition to a team, and maybe hard to see that on the surface. But the fact that we can say, hey, look at this person, really look at this person, and see what they have to offer. I see that as one of Orion's biggest duties.
Benson came to me from Trisha, and when I met him, I instantly got excited. because I felt like this is a person that an employer is going to love. I knew there would be some challenges, but I don't think that either one of us realized the many challenges that we were getting ready to face.
I've come to realize that I'm tougher than I thought. And coming to Orion, it has made me realize that I have hidden talents I never knew I had. It has shown me that disability is only in the mind, because I wouldn't say I'm better off than most, but I realize that if I don't consider my disability, then I'm good.
We understand that people come here with barriers, maybe that they're not even sharing with us, right? Benson was always very open about it, but our hope is that we can bring people in here, help them with the help of the vocational counselors and the job developers to overcome some of these barriers that have been keeping them from having steady employment.
When he came here, he was in tiny houses, and he believes that being able to look for and afford an apartment would not have happened had Orion not stepped in and given him the opportunity.
Our program is to help people get jobs, and yes, but there are so many other aspects to helping somebody just grow in their self-esteem and their confidence and their knowledge that I can overcome that barrier. I can make that change with a little diligence, a little support. I can get those, I can make those changes happen. And if we can just help somebody do that in whatever little ways that they can, then it makes it all worth it.
And you'll surprise yourself. You'll discover that you are actually valuable than maybe you take yourself to be.